Welcome to Morning Sip with Rev Melissa. And we know SIP stands for Spirit and Practice. Spirit and Practice. I hope everyone is doing well. Waving back at you. And so we are in our pain series. And a lot of times, this was a great gift and lesson for me, because a lot of times when we aren't clear about what our next step is, just do what's right in front of you. Do what is right in front of you. And so that's how this pain series came into fruition, because that's what was present for me. And so here we are. And so today we're going to conclude our pain series. Yes, because this is coming to a conclusion. I know that's right. So we are going to conclude our pain series, and it was quite an adventure. We were awake. We listened to the pain, gave the pain a voice. We got some wisdom from the worm, that worm wisdom. Yes, right? Be grounded. Yes, align yourself. And yesterday, we got to be a hurricane. And the part of the hurricane that we leaned into was the eye of the storm, where it is peace and there is stillness. Yes? And so we can do that because pain has an order to it. Pain has an order to it, and we are always in divine right order, regardless of what is happening. Regardless of what is happening. So be in touch with who you are and whose you are, right? And that is the stillness and the peace that you are. You are not pain. You are not pain. That is not your name. So here we go. To wrap it up, guess what we're going to be today? Today we're going to be a leaf. We're going to be a leaf floating in a lake. Because we're already a lake, right? I said become a lake, expand, look wider. Yes? So today we're going to be a leaf floating in a lake. Okay. So we are going back to my favorite, the Book of Awakening by Mark Nepo. And I highly recommend this book, especially as a daily inspiration to companion you in your morning practice, right? It's wonderful, inspirational reading. So the one I'm reading today is from March 13th, and it's called Opening to Faith. And he has an opening quote, and this is part of a story from Ramakrishna. And it says, once a man was about to cross the sea. A wise man tied a leaf in the corner of his robe and said to him, don't be afraid. Have faith and walk on the water. But look here, the moment you lose faith, you will drown. Okay. So Mark Nepo writes, we often move away from pain, which is helpful only before being hurt. Once in pain, it seems the only way out is through. Like someone falling off a boat, struggling to stay above the water only makes things worse. We must accept we are there and settle enough so that we can be carried by the deep. The willingness to do this is the genesis of faith, the giving over to currents larger than us. Even fallen leaves float in lakes, demonstrating how surrender can hold us up. We can learn from the leaves that ducks swim around. In life as in water, when we curl up or fail, we sink. When we spread and go still, we are carried by the largest sea of all, the sea of grace that flows steadily beneath the turmoils of events. And just as fish can't see the ocean they live in, we can't quite see the spirit that sustains us. Again and again, the onset of pain makes us clutch and sink. But life has taught me that how we first open after doubling over is crucial to whether we will heal at all. That's some good stuff. That is some good stuff. Yes? So we have to accept where we are. Have you ever been around someone who is just like in denial that they're having whatever the experience is? Right? And pain is something hard to ignore. Yes? And so when we accept what is, right? I'm feeling pain. So accept where we are. Accept where we are. And there is a willingness, right? To allow ourselves to just be. To just be. We don't have to do anything about it, but just be where we are for that moment, right? And then there is a surrendering. There is a surrendering that is open to us. And so it makes me think about that hurricane, right? The eye of the storm is peace and stillness, right? And in surrendering, there is peace and stillness. Surrendering in faith. Surrendering in faith and letting in grace. I love that he said, the sea of grace that flows steadily beneath the turmoil of events. There is grace there. There is grace there. And we have the opportunity to surrender to it. So just as fish can't see the ocean they live in, we can't see that God, the God that indwells us, is sustaining us. The God that indwells us is sustaining us. Yes? Yes, 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 yes. So when he said, life has taught me that how we first open after doubling over is crucial to whether we will heal at all. So what is that next thing that you do? What is that? Something happens. Let's say you're in pain, right? How we first open is crucial to the ongoing experience, right? So we're in pain. What is the first thing you do? What is the first thing you think? What is the first thing you say? What is the first act you take? It's crucial to how that experience will be. So do you go into victim? Do you go into victim? Do you feel as if something is happening to you versus something happening for you and through you? And it is not you. It is not who you are, right? So when we first open, it's crucial that we're in a conscious choice to surrender to that which is sustaining us. We are floating in the lake of good. We are floating in the lake of grace. We are floating in the lake of God. And if we're like struggling and frailing around, what's going to happen? We're going to start to sink. We're going to start to sink because we are in resistance. We are in struggle. We are in separation, right? And so pain has a way of getting our attention so that we can make a conscious choice about how we are going to open. That first open, after you doubled over, that first thought, that first, right? And the wonderful thing about it is that you can have a lot of firsts. So let's say your first was, this ain't happening, total denial. You could choose another first. Okay, this is happening. This is happening. What is it that I need to see? You can have that dialogue. All the tools we learned this week, right? You can have a dialogue with that which is seeking to get your attention, right? So repeat having those first until you get in alignment, until you are floating in the lake of love, in the lake of liberation, right? In the lake of the divine. There is an opportunity here for each one of us. Whatever the pain or dis-ease is, the upset, it doesn't matter what we call it. It is an opportunity for us to come back into alignment and to open to that which sustains us, and to have faith in that which sustains us. We can't see it, but we know there is a knowingness. There is a knowingness that God is sustaining us. That God is sustaining us. All right, y'all. Let go and let God. That's a very common phrase that we hear. Let go and let God. But let go and let God. Like for real. Surrender. Surrender. Let that first thing you do be to go to God. To go to the indwelling God. You don't have to go out looking for it. It's right here within you, sustaining you. As you. It's an invitation to make that conscious choice as your first thing. And if you don't do that, make another first thing. Make another first thing, as many first things as you need. Just claim it as the first thing and do what it is for you to do. All right? So be like a leaf floating in a lake, totally in alignment, totally in grace, totally surrendering to the God that sustains us, the divine that sustains us, the divine that created everything that is holding up this universe is sustaining us. It's sustaining us through everything, every ache, pain, everything, all good all the time. So let's surrender. Let's float. Let's be a leaf. Let's let go. Let's let go. All right. All right. So I am just so grateful for the pain series. I hope that it was meaningful and resonated with you. I'm sending love and energy out to anyone that's going through anything, knowing that you are sustained, in a mighty way, So peace and blessings, peace and justice, and enjoy.